Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Monday night call. Tonight, I am Natalie Borges, and I'm going to be talking about team culture tonight, intentional team culture. And I thought that with convention coming up next month, it was actually an awesome opportunity to bring it up, as that is a time that we really want to showcase our team culture, especially um, via obviously social media and just letting your people know that you are with your Plexus family. And I just really think this is an important topic. So thank you all for being on tonight. Okay, so culture. We know that culture eats strategy for lunch. Some people say breakfast, but we know that this is obviously a very important part of our business because we are in the people industry. This is a people business. Team culture is actually really, really important. It fosters alignment and helps the team embrace a shared purpose. So when we're all focused on a purpose and our values are aligning, we get to create a really powerful team culture. So if you are new here and you're like, well, what's team culture? What is that really like? Team culture is the way team members work together toward a common goal. Team culture is all about sharing beliefs and values. It's how a team interacts and collaborates with one another. So what does a positive team culture look like? We know what a negative team culture looks like, right? We've signed people on that maybe want to do this on their own. They don't really want they don't want to be on the calls, or they don't want to, they don't want the community necessarily. They just want to do this on their own. And we've seen that doesn't work. It doesn't work when you decide to work your business in that way. So what does it look like for a team to have a positive team culture? Well, everyone needs to get clear on their purpose. I love talking about purpose because I think there's no way you can be successful at this if you're not clear on your purpose and your values. So you get clear on your purpose as a team. You align goals that reflect the team's values. Core values keep us moving forward in the right direction, especially on those hard days where we don't want to go, right? Our core values, our purpose, that's what pushes us forward. A last call I did was on communication. And I think I can talk about communication all day long because it's so, so important, especially when you're working with people. You're in relationship with people. Communication is so important. So open communication is going to be huge for a positive team culture. Embracing everyone's differences, right? We're not all the same. Each person on here has something different to offer this team. Each person on here has a different personality, temperament, whatever Enneagram, whatever it is, color, personality you want to label us as. Like, we're all different. We're all different, and that is okay. That actually is the thing that helps us grow out of our own limiting beliefs. If we only worked with people like us, that would create a very comfortable environment, right? And we want to grow outside our comfort zone. So it's actually such a blessing that each person on here has something different to bring to the table. So we're not supposed to all be the same. Okay, it's a gift to be in community with people of different, like I said, personalities. Open communication is what leads to building trust. And if you want to have a thriving team, you need trust. We need to trust one another. A healthy team is a team that can feel comfortable expressing ideas, opinions, concerns without fear of judgment. And it has to feel safe enough to respectfully disagree, right? If we are having a disagreement with someone, we have to feel safe in order to do that. This is like the one-liner that I use in my marriage, and I use this one a lot. Even if I'm having like a time where a friend and I are maybe not not seeing eye to eye, or a team member, whatever it is, you like to say, I'm feeling confused about X, Y, Z. Can you help me understand? Right. And that is such a great way to kind of just seek understanding in such a respectful and honoring way, right? Because sometimes we can misunderstand each other, and that's okay. That's going to happen. And to not be afraid of wanting to get that clarity. So always, always, always share your heart from a place of mutual respect. I think that's a really, really important thing to do as we are in a team. We respect one another. A positive team culture goes beyond work tasks. It's going to have to go beyond work tasks because we're really doing life with each other. Would you agree? That we get to actually do life with each other. We're on calls. We're actually talking to one another. So we have to go beyond the work task. Now, what does that look like? That looks like if I know, my level one, if Kylie tells me her son is sick and, he's at the hospital, God forbid, but just like something like that, I'm going to lean into that and I'm going to ask her about that. And I'm going to really figure out how I can serve her through that. Okay. If someone's husband gets laid off, if someone's parent just passed away, right? Like these things happen. And so we have to put those tasks to the side when those things happen and really lean into those moments where we really show up for them as a friend. So it's checking in on them. If you haven't heard from someone, if you haven't heard from, maybe your sideline, like maybe you have a running partner that you run with and you haven't heard from them, checking in, things like that, really cultivate trust and really cultivate a safe environment to grow in. Listening with intention, right? We have to be intentional. None of what I'm saying is going to come natural. I wish it did, but a lot of this stuff, it's like you have to be intentional about it. You have to go out of your way, make the phone call, shoot the text. You have to go out of your way. Okay, a big one is celebrating success, right? Like we have to celebrate one another, and celebrating success is very important, but also being present in failure. That's also really important. Being present in failure, what does that look like? That looks like embracing the mindset of failing forward, which we've talked about a lot. We've had calls on that. That's really important. We need to normalize failure as part of the innovation and growth process. Like we need to embrace that part and not just celebrate people when they're on their, mountaintop, but also lean in when someone is in that place and they, maybe someone in your, downline or your level one, they've gone back in points, things like that. You still want to make presence. You still want to be present during that time, not just when, your team members are thriving and doing awesome. Because failure is a part of this process. And the key here is to celebrate what we are learning through our failures. This builds team resiliency. That's what's going to build that resilient spirit within the team. We want to help people feel like they belong on their good day and their bad day, right? And so we want to help people feel like they belong. And to do that, we need to create an environment of connection and acceptance. So how do we do that? We need to engage. We need to engage with our teams, engaging, asking questions, listening, showing interest. All of this is so important to grow a team. Validate feelings, validate different perspectives. It's okay that we don't see things the same way. When people approach you, and I think this is a big one, especially we're going to have convention next month, and that's always so exciting, but when people approach you, help them feel welcome, right? Like help them feel like it's okay for us to talk. Maybe we've only talked via Zoom, and so we're just meeting in person for the first time. Help people feel comfortable when they're around you. like they have a place at the table with you, like there's space for them. We want to do that for people, even if they're not in your direct team, right? I mean, I know even on here, we're all kind of from different little teams. We're all Pink Power, but we have our own little teams. We want to still express that same kind of kindness towards one another. And I personally have a friend who did this with someone from my team, and no connection to my team at all. It's just a friend of mine that I made actually here in Durham. And just the kindness that she shared to my team meant the world to my team, that she was, just leaning in and asking questions and doing that kind of thing. And she's a jewel. So, right. So it's like, wow, we get to hear from this person who is not benefiting from this at all, right? There's no benefit from this exchange. She's just doing it to pour into someone. And so I just want all of us to have that attitude whenever we speak to someone, that we would realize that, we have an opportunity to talk and connect with so many people. And you have value to add. You absolutely 100%, no matter what rank you are, no matter what your points were last month, you have value to add to people. You are important. People want to hear from you. And the same value that, you want to be added to you, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and go first, even if it's someone in the bathroom. Like, do that, because you're sowing these little seeds that you will see the fruit of that. I can attest to that. You will see the fruit of that. So like I said, what an awesome opportunity convention is to showcase our community, our team culture, especially, in your stories and your posting, and using social media to really, like introducing, people from our team and taking pictures, like being open to that, because all of that paints a picture for your people watching you. They want this. People want this. People want to be a part of something. So you can help them with that and see that vision, especially when we're there. So, get your messages ready. I like to put messages in my notes app for things like convention, and just have those notes ready. Like, I would love to see you here. Like, this being here with all these people makes me want to be here with you, and just shoot those messages out, because people want to know that they belong. And so you can do that. You get to do that. And so, okay. Yeah, because honestly, like, that can change someone's life. The fact that you're thinking about them when you are on a work trip and you just shoot them that message can add so much value to them that you have no idea. Like, because people are looking for community like this. Okay, so can y'all go into the chat and go ahead and share how team culture has positively impacted your business? How has team culture made any kind of difference in your business, whether that be through a team page? I don't know, like, just anything that you can think of how it has impacted your business. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Curiosity, I love that. Genuine connection. Oh, I can't see the new messages. There it is. Okay. Yeah, casting vision. Being able to relate to different people. Confidence. Accountability, I love that. Encouragement. Helps me grow. And has called out strengths, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do on a team, right? You're supposed to call each other higher. I love that. Amazing friendships, borrowing belief. Yes. Yes, I have had to borrow belief a lot in my business, and I'm so grateful that I've had people to borrow belief from. Yeah. It's what's kept me here during all the phases of the business. Yeah, highs and lows. I love that. It's important. I want to conclude with some interesting studies that I found about team culture. So I thought I would share those with you. Team culture can be a very abstract concept because it's so different for everybody and we perceive things differently. So I thought it was really interesting that I found these little studies here because team culture has a significant impact on your business's success. And I'm not saying that to not do IPA and just focus on team culture, okay? Like, still do your IPA, that's the most important thing. But this is a really big deal. And so I just thought these were really interesting. So these are two studies I found, which were very interesting. A Gallup study found that companies with highly engaged team members outperformed their competitors by 147% in earnings. That study concluded that an engaged team is one that has a positive and strong team culture. Okay, so 147% they outperformed their competitors because their team culture was that good. That's a really big deal. That's a big percentage. Another research study by the University of Pennsylvania highlighted that positive team culture promoted happiness and attracts top talent. You attract people when you are a part of something really wonderful. It attracts people. Companies with healthy team cultures experience higher retention rates. Team members are 55% less likely to actively look for a new opportunity. Okay, when you have a team culture that is thriving, your retention is gonna get better, and they're not gonna be looking for a new opportunity because they're happy exactly where they are. And so this is a really big deal, and I really want to keep kind of diving into this just personally in my team. But to conclude, what makes a good team culture? We need to define our values. We need to invest in our teams. We need to communicate. We need to celebrate success and failure, and we need to make space for collaboration and brainstorming together. We need to be a connector and actually enjoy being in the presence of others. That's all I have tonight, and so I hope that this is a blessing to you guys. Have a good night.